One of the most powerful questions that you can ask yourself, and this is something that I try to ask myself a lot and I don't ask myself enough, is why is your hair sticking to your forehead? No, it's this. It's, are you running toward yourself or away? So let me give you an example. Take fitness. A lot of people who find fitness first start running toward themselves, right? They are discovering a daily sweat, they're burning fat, they're dropping into their body, they're feeling good about themselves, right? So that's running toward yourself, because running away would be treating your body like shit, eating junk food, all of that, right? But if you start working out 3-4 times a day and that becomes the sun that your life revolves around, now it's different if you're a professional athlete. I'm just talking about, the average John. And fitness now becomes a way to distract or numb or hide. Then now you're running away from yourself. Does that make sense? And your potency is always going to be running toward. So that's one example, fitness, but you could also take your relationships. A lot of times when we meet people, we are actually running away in the beginning because there's a lot of what I call the breakers and resistance, and we're drawn by chemistry and attraction and the dopamine of the new and exploring new perspectives and bodies and stories and all that. That's great. That pulls us in. And then right after that, we start running away, because with collisions and relationships, it brings a lot of our own stuff up. And if you're not willing to look at it, then now you're running away. And when I say swim past the breakers, it means looking inward, working on yourself, communicating, expressing your needs, drawing boundaries, all of the stuff that's actually, quote unquote, the work. And then you start running toward yourself in your relationship. And then again, something else happens, and then maybe there's infidelity, maybe there's, disconnect, drift, and then you can easily run away from yourself again. So my point is, in life, there's this constant connection and disconnection with ourselves. So when we're talking about self-love, when we're talking about self-esteem, when we're talking about building a better relationship with you, it's a journey, because it's up and down, but it's always about connecting to you. Now, here's what's challenging, because you move, you know what I'm saying? So who you are today is not who you were yesterday or who you're going to be tomorrow. So this idea of connecting to yourself, you're connecting to a moving target. As you grow and evolve and, want different things, and as you change, you're not a constant. You're always changing. So connecting back to you requires somewhat of a chasing rabbit. It requires you running after yourself, and sometimes, of course, we miss that bus, but that's the journey, that's the work, is this constant running toward yourself, running toward your truth, your solid self, your authentic self. And of course that's challenging, but that is always going to be where your self-actualized person lives. That's always going to be where you like yourself the most. That's always going to be where you share the most of your gifts and where you are the most potent. Ask yourself in all areas of your life. Another example can be work, right? Are you in a job where you are fucking miserable and you dread going to work every day? And if that's the case, are you running away from yourself or toward yourself? Now, just because your job sucks doesn't mean that you're running away from yourself. Maybe you need to be in that to learn and grow and have discipline. And then in that case, you're running toward yourself. So a quick example of that is when I was working in nonprofit. I didn't want to be there. It's not what I imagined a therapist or my therapist career to look like. And it looked like on the outside that I was running away from myself because it didn't line up with my truth. But as I leaned into it and stopped resisting it and owned it and really immersed myself in that work, I realized that that was presented in my life so I could connect to me. So, and that's what makes it kind of difficult, right? When you're in something that's uncomfortable, is it you running toward yourself or away from yourself? Whether we're talking about work, relationships, fitness, relationships with family, friends, whatever, are you running toward yourself? Are you running away? If you continue to run away from yourself, a lot of times people travel, and that's actually a way of running away from themselves if that's all they do, right? But if you haven't traveled a lot and you take that on as a way to better yourself, then that's running toward yourself, right? So there's a fine line, and the only one that's going to know is you. But if you keep asking yourself this question, am I running away from me or toward me? And then you line that with action of always running towards you. And sometimes you can be wrong, right? Sometimes you make bad choices and mistakes and you learn from them. And it's like riding a bike. It's a practice. And before you pop wheelies, you have to actually learn to ride the bike. So I think you get better at it. Your radar sharpens. But if you continue to practice this idea of running towards yourself, that is where the better version of you lives. So think about all the areas of your life and what it looks like to start running toward yourself. Guys, I am texting people, and this may be a topic now that I talked about it for 6 minutes, every week, daily text with a Google Doc at the end on Friday that takes you deeper. Text it to your phone. Check it out. We have different themes every week. And also, we have a private Facebook group where we have a couple thousand people in there supporting each other. So if you want all of that for the price of a latte a month, $5, just go to my website, theangrytherapist.com, or my Instagram, which you're probably on right now, and just click my bio link. Be well.